What if Iberia became an independent country? If Iberia meant a single sovereign state uniting Spain and Portugal, the result would be a large, diverse, and influential country reshaping politics and economics on the peninsula and in Europe. With roughly 58 million people and a combined nominal GDP around £1.9 billion, Iberia would sit among the EU's largest economies, behind Germany, France, and Italy, while remaining within the euro and Schengen if the union were negotiated inside existing EU frameworks. The most plausible pathway would be a democratically ratified federation that guarantees robust regional autonomy and co-official status for Spanish and Portuguese, alongside protections for Catalan, Basque, Galician, and Mirandese. Doing it this way addresses the biggest political risk: fears of dominance, especially in Portugal, and existing centrifugal pressures, especially in Catalonia and the Basque Country. Institutionally, the state would likely adopt a federal or confederal design with distributed capitals, say Parliament in Madrid, Executive in Lisbon, and major ministries split, to balance symbolism and practical governance. Courts, tax regimes, social security systems, and regulatory frameworks would need harmonization, a multi-year process supported by transitional funds to smooth differences in wage levels, pensions, and public services. Banking supervision would consolidate under one national authority within the Eurosystem, merging Banco de España and Banco de Portugal roles. The existing Iberian electricity and energy market could be expanded into a unified strategy, accelerating interconnections across the Pyrenees, scaling renewables, and pushing green hydrogen corridors like H2Med to make the peninsula a power exporting hub. Economically, Iberia would gain heft and diversification. It would combine Spain's strengths in automotive, chemicals, agri-food, tourism, and defense tech with Portugal's competencies in ports, renewables, textiles, IT services, and aerospace maintenance. And it would leverage multiple Atlantic and Mediterranean gateways: Sines, Lisbon, Leixões, Algeciras, Valencia, Barcelona. A unified logistics strategy, standardizing rail gauges, finishing high-speed links between Lisbon and Madrid, and integrating freight corridors, could reorient trade flows and upgrade the peninsula's role as a bridge between the EU, Africa, and the Americas. Tourism would benefit from single-brand marketing and seamless transport, while wine, olive oil, and fisheries policies could be rationalized to reduce overlap and lift export value. Foreign and security policy would be more coherent and potent. The merged armed forces would be among Europe's larger, combining blue water naval capabilities and air assets, expanding procurement efficiencies, and strengthening NATO contributions. Iberia's soft power would be exceptional. Spanish and Portuguese together span vast linguistic communities in Latin America, Europe, and Africa. That could amplify EU diplomacy on transatlantic, Lusophone, and Hispanic issues, from climate finance and migration to digital trade standards. Gibraltar would likely remain a sensitive but managed issue with the UK. Andorra would stay independent. Ceuta and Melilla would continue as Iberian territories in North Africa, making relations with Morocco even more pivotal. Inside the EU, Iberia's emergence would trim the number of member states by one, modestly adjusting voting dynamics. The new country would inherit Euro membership and, with treaty tweaks, likely maintain continuous EU status, though its representation would change. One commissioner instead of two, a reallocated share of European Parliament seats, and a single seat in the European Council. Population-based influence would remain substantial, but the state count aspect of qualified majority voting would be slightly reduced, subtly shifting coalition building. Iberia would probably champion energy interconnections, Mediterranean policy, agriculture reform, and industrial competitiveness, while pressing for deeper capital markets and innovation funding. The largest challenges would be political and cultural. Portuguese citizens might worry about being subsumed by a larger neighbor. Catalan and Basque communities could fear dilution of their rights. The constitutional design must lock in shared sovereignty, revenue sharing, language protections, and strong local competencies. A dual identity, Portuguese and Spanish within an Iberian civic framework, would need sustained investment in education and media. Transitional costs would be real. Aligning taxes, pensions, public sector pay scales, and infrastructure priorities takes time and money. Yet many foundations already exist, from the Iberian energy market to deep trade ties and cross-border cooperation. If instead Iberia meant a break from the EU, an Iber exit, the short-term disruption would be severe. Funding gaps, uncertainty over market access, border frictions, and the need to create a new currency or negotiate bespoke euro arrangements. Given how integrated Spain and Portugal are in EU supply chains, finance, and labor mobility, a union that stays inside the EU is far more likely and far less costly. Overall, a well-designed Iberian federation could deliver scale, strategic coherence, and global reach, provided it protects identities and local powers. Done carefully, it would create a major European player with a unique Atlantic-Mediterranean profile and unparalleled linguistic ties across the world. Done poorly, it could intensify regional grievances and drain political capital. The difference would come down to constitutional craftsmanship, fair burden sharing, and a genuinely binational civic culture.